League Wars Live, News Hour with Ghostwriter. We got a special edition, man. Got a big meeting coming up. I think it's on Friday. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really got into the news story, you know, but we're about to now. We're going to do it together. But I did hear about President Trump in that meeting, heard some things about it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about it this morning because it's very important. It's very, very important, man. You know what I'm saying? The world order is on the line. Since World War II, the American president has been the leader of the free world, pretty much dictating the order of what happens in the world. You see what I'm saying? So if we allow Russia or we allow Putin to take Ukraine, establish an order in Asia, I don't care if it is just in Asia, it's changing the way things have been ran since World War II. So we're going to talk about it, man. Like, I think President Trump really, really needs to get tough on old Vladimir. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's trying to he's trying to sneak Zelensky in the back door so he could get them together to sit down and have a conversation. So, guys, we're going to just take a few minutes and we're going to jump right into the news story this morning. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday morning. As you guys, make sure y'all double tap the screen. If you're watching this after it was pre-recorded, make sure you do the same. We need to get those likes up, guys. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go ahead and jump into the content. You know what I'm saying? So this is League Wars Live, guys. If y'all do not know, on the road, you know what I'm saying? We out here in Illinois. What's up, Big Blue? Yes, sir. We started this year off doing 80 days all over the state of Texas. January 1st, you know what I'm saying? Then I went to Biloxi, Mississippi. That's my hometown for about 3 months. But in those 3 months, we went to North Carolina for a week, recorded 2 vlogs, Discover the Passion 4 and The Part 3. But if that's not enough, guys, all over Tennessee, that's We the People 2. It's on YouTube right now. You go check it out for 3 weeks. Went to every city in the state of Tennessee but Memphis. And last but not least, we out here in Illinois, crossed over the Ohio River out in Kentucky border. And I'm up here in Champaign counting my blessings and thanking God. As you guys come in the stream, make sure y'all like that video for me, man. Get them likes up. You guys jump down in the comments. You know what I'm saying? We got some great content this morning. So, guys, We the People 2 is now playing on YouTube. Just go to the Legal Wars Live landing page and click on the video. The Voice of the Silent Majority, a beautiful video. We recorded out in Tennessee, so make sure you guys check that out. Also, in about 3 weeks, We the People 3, Lost in the Midwest, will be coming out, so make sure you go check that out when you get an opportunity. As you guys come in the stream, make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video. We need to get those likes up. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Also, guys, if you guys want your comment read, feel free. Republican, Independent, Democrat, jump down in the comments at any time. Whatever you got to say, y'all discuss it amongst yourselves while I'm going over the content. If you guys want your comments read, or you want to start a conversation, or if you want to donate to the channel, man, we need to get those donations up. Channel memberships, too, are only $2.99. I think the buttons down below with the $sign, all your donations and your channel memberships are much appreciated. To understand the terms of the Ukraine was not being left of discussions about its future. Guys, I think it's important to me that, Vladimir, when he goes to meet that, President Trump stands firm against President Putin and what he's trying to say and what he's trying to do. This entire situation rests on Ukraine being free of Russian occupation. That's very important for all of Europe. You guys, as y'all come in, y'all make sure y'all double tap the screen for me, like the video. If you guys have not subscribed and get down in the comments. Once again, the source from CNN, we had a little technical difficulties. We're going to push through. In the English countryside on Saturday, European officials presented their case to Vice President J.D. Vance. So the Vice President was in Europe on Saturday in a hasty arranged meeting. The leaders of several European nations said afterward that while they supported President Trump's diplomatic efforts, any peace talks must be preceded by a ceasefire, and Ukraine itself must be actively involved. So, guys, that's how Europe feel about the entire situation. You see what I'm saying? Ukraine is a part of Europe. And the Europeans, that's how they feel. They're not budging. I will say this. Zelensky doesn't want to concede no land to Russia. I don't think that's going to be possible. That's just me personally. I think Ukraine is going to have to succeed some sort of land. Unfortunately, the Europeans are with Ukraine, man. They're saying they want to go the distance with Russia. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how much of that is true. We don't know how much they're saying that to get the best peace deal or the best deal that's possible. You see what I'm saying? But Ukraine, they look like they're ready to go the distance. If you think about, guys, as y'all come in, y'all make sure y'all double tap that video for me. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, jump down in the comments. I see people already getting down there, man. Y'all let y'all voices be heard. Listen, man, this is what I'm saying. So if you guys don't know, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this as we go over this story. It's a CNN news story 4 hours ago, fresh off the press. You know what I'm saying? I'm adding my analysis as we go. President Trump is meeting with Vladimir Putin on Friday in Alaska, man. High stakes meeting, okay? So that's what we discussed. And what does President Trump need to say to Vladimir? What concessions does he need to give? Europe has said that, hey, look, Vice President Vance, we're okay, but we don't want, because you can't have no conversations with Vladimir without Zelensky being there. So that's where we stand, guys. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky was not named as a participant in the Alaska summit to take place Friday between President Trump and Putin. See, guys, that's an issue. You see what I'm saying? Because the rest of the world, look, I wouldn't say but I would have to say any normal person should put some kind of trust into President Trump, some kind of trust. I know, like, a lot of people would be like, nah, man, he been too cool with Vladimir. if you that cool with Vladimir, how are you going to get any kind of peace deal with Ukraine to where Ukraine will feel like they came out on top, or they came out better, or they came out anything? You see what I'm saying? I'm saying some sort of trust I would put into President Trump, or I would say the normal American, seeing how he's operating, because President Trump wants this war to come to an end. He said it when he was campaigning. He was going to end it in day one. And we way past day one. And he's been trying to be cool with Vladimir. And in my opinion, Zelensky is just being unreasonable. Because there's no way in the world. Listen, for the fact that Russia did not take Ukraine in 48 hours, they were this close to taking Ukraine in 48 hours. The fact that they didn't take Ukraine in 48 hours is a testament to the United States military. So I want to go ahead and salute all the veterans in the chat. I'm on myself, United States Army. So we're going to go ahead and salute all the veterans. But that's just a testament to the United States military. Without the United States military, Ukraine would be under Russian control right now, regardless of the Europeans, the money, the weapons, whatever they put in there, Ukraine would be controlled by Russia right now. So the reason why they're not is a testament to, so Zelensky has to realize this, bro. When you're trying to make a peace deal, man, you going up against a behemoth. Russia is the largest country in the world. They got nuclear weapons, and Putin is not going to get embarrassed and just let you take all the land. So what they talking about at this summit? Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. As y'all come in, please double tap that screen. Great Khan. Good morning. Who is that? Will to you down. Good morning. Jesus love you. Good morning. Okay, this CNN story. We're going to get back to the story. However, the White House has not completely ruled out Zelensky in some meetings. Two sources familiar with the matter told CNN, probably Kaylin Collins. You know what I'm saying? One of the best reporters in the game. One White House official stressed that anything involving Zelensky will likely happen under the Trump-Putin meeting. Of course. You see what I'm saying? But I understand what President Trump is doing, because, look, you got to understand the situation that's going on in Russia. Zelensky, Ukraine used to be a part of the USSR. So there's a lot of connections between Russia and Ukraine. How can I say this? I want to give you guys an example so you can understand this. So even though Putin might not be the best character in the world, he feels like, because of some Russians in Ukraine who they don't like Zelensky. They feel like Zelensky isn't even a legitimately, it's a complicated situation. It's a lot more complicated than the surface. But what I'm going to get to in just a second in another news story is, what is Putin's goals in Ukraine? What are you trying to do in Ukraine, Putin? That's the question. And that's the problem that we're having with Vladimir and his ambitions in Ukraine. Back to the news. The summit has come together very quickly, and the details are still in flux. An exact location is yet to be announced. A White House official said that President Trump remained open to a trilateral summit with both leaders, but that the White House is planning the bilateral meeting requested by President Trump. Yeah, most definitely. And look, this is what I want to say, man. I wish, good morning, my little baby. Hadn't seen you in a minute. Make sure y'all like the video as y'all come in. Y'all get active in them comments down below. Y'all let y'all voices be heard. Here's the whole thing. President Trump requesting that meeting with Putin. What y'all think about it? He didn't really request it. Putin requested it. That's what I think about it. And you know why Putin requested President Trump? I wish I could talk to you, Fox News, CNN, somebody, man, you go talk to man, tell him this, man, President Trump, I need to have your ear. I wish I could have your ear before you go in that meeting, because so much relies on that meeting. And President Trump, hold up, President Trump, let's go back to CNN. This is what CNN said. I said, President Trump requested a meeting. President Trump, you've been requesting meetings with Putin for how long? President Trump, remember you had Zelensky coming? Remember, you had Zelensky coming, you had Putin, and y'all, when you went over to Saudi Arabia, y'all was supposed to meet in Turkey, but it never panned out because Putin didn't want to meet with Zelensky. But now, all of a sudden, according to CNN, a White House official said that President Trump remained open to trilateral, but what happened? He opened to it. What happened? The White House is planning a bilateral meeting requested by who? Vladimir. Why did Vladimir request a bilateral meeting? What y'all think? Why y'all think he requested a meeting? I'm going to tell you why he requested a meeting. Because President Trump finally got tough on him. President Trump told Vladimir, I'll give you 10 days, 12 days, man. I'll give you 12 days. I'm tired of playing with you. I'm tired. And Vladimir like, hey, President Trump is the only thing that's protected. He said, hey, man, President Trump, I need a meet, man. Hold up, President Trump, you getting serious on me. Don't get serious on me. I thought you was my boy. I thought you was going to let me do what I want. I thought, President Trump, that you was going to let Xi Jinping take over Asia. I thought you was going to let us run this side of the world, President Trump. I thought that's what you was going to do. That was the game plan. But President Trump started getting tough on Vladimir. And when he started getting tough on Vladimir, all of a sudden, Vladimir wanted a meeting. Since President Trump unveiled plans to meet with Putin in a post to social media on Friday, there has been intensive diplomatic effort behind the scenes to get the U.S. allies on board. President Trump, what that's saying is they really don't trust. I'll double tap that screen for me. Like that video. Good morning. Good morning. Malu says she's talking to Will It You Down. She says men couldn't agree, so they bought women in the Matrix. What's up, Patrick, my brother? Good morning. He said Trump is looking bad right now. I guess to some, he's always looking bad. That is true, Patrick. But what y'all say President Trump looking bad for? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Malu, King Fire, y'all think President Trump is looking bad right now? What y'all think he looking bad for? Let's keep going with the content, though. CNN, Trump's announcement notably did not say whether or when Zelensky would be included in the process. Zelensky and European leaders, meanwhile, they've been serious. Emphatic. They've been serious that Ukraine needs to be a part of discussions about ending the war. We're talking about that. And Saturday, meeting hosted by Vice President Vance at the manor home of the British Foreign Secretary, European officials laid out their terms and saw more information from U.S. officials about the plan Putin presented Wednesday to U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff. What plan you got, Putin? The only plan we need to hear from you, President Putin, is you plan on removing your soldiers from Ukraine because you're talking about over 1 million souls in less than 4 years died. You know what I'm saying? They emphasized a number of points. Western officials said that Ukraine must be involved in the talks, that a ceasefire is in place before other steps are taken, and that if Ukraine makes territorial concessions, Russia must secede land it currently occupies. That's all Europe got to say. They don't want to hear nothing else. You say, oh, Ukraine was going to be a part of NATO. They're not a part of NATO. So Russia feels like some type of way. So Europe ain't trying to hear none of that. This is what they said to VP Vance. Oh, yeah, Vice President Vance, you said that we were soft. You said the Europeans were soft. Okay, well, this is how soft we are. Ukraine need to be over there in them talks with President Trump. Number one. Number two, we need a ceasefire in place. Stop the killing. Let's see that Putin is really serious about what he's talking about. And number three, Russia must concede land. If Ukraine wants the land back, Russia got to give the land back. That's Europe, how Europe feels. So you got to, President Trump's trying to bring peace to the situation. He got Zelensky, and Zelensky got the Europeans behind. And boy, they coming hard and they coming strong, and he got Putin. And look, at this point right here, President Trump, how it looks to me is like this is the time Putin is at his weakest point. Because President Trump gave him 10 to 12 days and Putin caved. He didn't know what President Trump had up his sleeve for him, but he didn't want to find out. President Trump said he tired of playing with it. So he said, hey, President T, let's have a meeting. President T said, bet, we going to Alaska. And Europe said, hold up. We with Zelensky. This is what we want. 1, 2, 3. We need a ceasefire. Zelensky got to be in the talk, and Russia got to give up the land. What y'all think? So, guys, as y'all come into the stream, I ask that y'all like the video, subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, as well, if you guys want your comments read, or if you want to start a conversation, you want to donate to the channel, just hit that button with the $ in it, and your donations are much appreciated. We want to get those channel memberships up as well. Malu, I see you in the stream, baby. Channel memberships are $2.99. Make sure you guys renew your channel memberships, or if you want to come become a member of the channel, man, hit that button with that $, and I appreciate all of your donations. I'm gonna get some of your comments in. So Malu, I see that Trump is doing his absolute best to keep the promises he made before becoming the president. The job ain't easy. I give him mad respect. Malu, baby, what you said, that right there is so true. As far as this conversation is going, and I'm not getting into all that, I'm saying as far as this conversation is going, that's true. President Trump is trying to keep his promises. He is trying to end the war. He's been working hard to end this war, and that's necessary. The job is not easy. That is very true. It's not easy at all. You see what I'm saying? Especially in this situation with Zelensky and the Europeans are saying they're not trying to concede no land. It's I don't see a situation where it's possible, where there could be peace and Zelensky and Ukraine don't succeed land, man. Listen, let me explain this to you. It's like Zelensky and the Europeans, that's President Trump's homeboys. He called Putin and Russia his homeboy, but he trying to be cool with him, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to smash you, bro. Because it might be a little hard to smash you, but we could smash you though. So I don't want to smash you, so I want to be cool with you. But really, over here on this side, my homeboy. Now listen, I'm in the middle of a fight. I'm gonna fight with two people, okay? I'm in the middle of a fight with a bigger and stronger opponent. And over here is my little small friend, but he's scrappy. And he got my other friends with him, the Europeans. They scared. They scared of my big homeboy. He gonna keep marching. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about losing no soldiers. He just gonna keep marching. And I'm in the middle of the fight. And the little small guys over here, they saying they don't want to give up no land. They trying to stand 10 toes. And I salute you for standing 10 toes, but you can't beat Russia, Ukraine. In my opinion, Europe has a lot of money. They have a lot of resources. The land area probably is about as big as America, okay? If not bigger, okay? Europe is a continent. Let me explain something. In my opinion, it might take 20 years, but I don't think the Europeans could beat Russia together combined. I really don't. So in my opinion, the way I look at it, Europe and Ukraine can't beat Russia. But they trying to stand 10 on some land that Russia already took. They got soldiers in it. So how you gotta look at how Putin looking at this. Putin saying, hey, I'll just take all Ukraine. I won't stop fighting. I know President Trump, you gave me this ultimatum, but I'll just take all of Ukraine. That's how Putin looking at it. You see what I'm saying? That's his and the way the Ukrainians looking at it now, you can't have none of the land. The invasion was illegal, and President Trump is in the middle. And at stake is over 5,000 lives every single week. That's what's at stake. Freedom is at stake. So much is on the line, man. The world order is at stake. Because if President Trump wasn't pushed the right way, because listen, it's some protectionist, isolationist. It's a lot of, on the right especially, a movement towards allowing Asia or Russia to run Asia. We have to remember, guys, we have to remember why NATO was formed. Because we tried to do that. You feel me? We tried to allow them to run. Y'all don't remember? Y'all don't remember your history? America said we tired of wars. After World War I, that's how we are right now. We tired of wars. We tired of fighting wars. So you know what we gonna do? We gonna let Europe and them do their thing over there. Just don't come over here. Don't come over here. And then we went to sleep. We went to sleep, y'all. Exactly what happened. And after we went to sleep, you know what happened? When we went to sleep, you know what happened? Adolf Hitler rose up. Europeans ain't strong enough. That's what JD Vance saying right now. Vice President Vance, you seeing it. Vice President Vance, you saying the Europeans are not strong enough is why the American military needs to stay around the world just like they are. Because it's the reason why they're in Germany. Why is the U.S. military in Germany right now? Why is the U.S. military in Japan right now? These are the reasons why. That's why NATO was formed. Has a member, President Trump of NATO, been attacked since it was formed? Has one member state ever been attacked since it was formed? The United States? What happened after the U.S. was attacked? We all went to war. That's what I'm saying. So we can't allow Putin to run Asia. No, we can't do that. Would you want Putin to run America? You know what I'm saying? Like the American president pretty much runs the free world. Like you might not realize that or not, but that's facts. So I'm saying we don't want someone with Putin's influence to have power over the United States. We don't want that, man. That's not what we want. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying President Trump is right to listen to Vladimir's complaints. I don't care what no one says. How are you going to solve a problem if you only listen to one side? And Vice President Vance going off on the Europeans, I'm saying basically in essence what he's saying is not like it's wrong. It's nothing what he said was wrong. It was right. They are kind of soft. They are really soft. They about money and whatever else, but it ain't about what America about. America about thumping some heads. But JD, we can't leave them over there like that, because if we do, Putin is stronger than them. He gonna just run through them. That's why we over there. You feel me? The Chinese will just run through them. And if they run through Europe, they're gonna keep it. That's the whole it's a no-go, man. We can't do that. Protectionist, isolationist, we just gonna do it like President Trump did with Iran. You can't have a nuclear bomb. If you don't listen, we gonna drop some bombs. And you gonna bend and fold. And Putin, you need to get out of Ukraine. If you don't listen, we gonna drop some bombs. Yeah, America dropping, with Russia, right? That boy ain't coming like that. I promise you. He ain't finna use no nuclear weapons. He don't want that smoke like that. He thought he was gonna walk in the back door of Ukraine and reunite the USSR. Let's get back to the news. Let's talk about it. CNN, a statement afterward from the leaders of France, Italy, Germany, and Poland, and the United Kingdom. Bro, I'm sorry. If I had to live in a country outside the United States, it'd be one of those countries. Bottom line. That's how you got to think about it. That's how close. That's my brothers. France, Italy, Germany, Poland. I'm not sure about Poland. United Kingdom, I'll live in any one of them countries but Poland if I had to leave it. Closest thing to America. It's the free world. The European Union and Finland said, I'll definitely live in Finland. Definitely. Said the group welcomed President Trump's work to stop the killing in Ukraine, end the Russian Federation's war of aggression, and achieve just and lasting peace and security in Ukraine. President Trump, that golden age that you're trying to issue in, you can't issue it in until this war stops. And I think he knows. And that's why he's trying to stop it. Vladimir Zelensky on Sunday said he appreciates and fully supports the joint statement, but it spelled out terms of a peace plan that appeared to different from the one Putin has put forth, of course, in which he is seeking significant territorial concessions, according to the Western officials. What kind of land Putin want? What you want, Putin? Ukraine has the freedom of choice over its own destiny. Meaningful negotiations can only take place in the context of a ceasefire, a reduction of hostilities. The path to peace in Ukraine cannot be decided without Ukraine, the joint statement read. We remain committed to the principle that international borders must not be changed by force. The current line of contact should be the starting point of negotiations. What he just said, that's everything. Melissa, what's up, baby? How you doing? She said what he just said is everything right there. We remain committed to the principle that international borders must not be changed by force. That's the world order. We remain committed to the principle that international borders must not be changed by force. That's the order. They say, oh, well, America does it. What borders America changed by force? What borders did America change by force? That's what you got to realize. America did go to Afghanistan for 20 years, but what borders did it change when it left? America went to Iraq. America went to almost all those Middle East countries. But what borders did it change? It didn't change no borders. The Iraqi border is the same before the Americans arrived. They left it the same. The Iraqis in control of the country. Yeah. You don't understand over here in the United States, boy, we a nation of laws. So if y'all make any laws over here in America, that's what we do. We know how to follow the rules and the laws. We know how to manipulate the rules and the laws too. You feel me? That's the world order. You can't go change somebody's country and their land by force. You can't do that no more. They were doing that back. That was barbarian stuff. We changed that after World War II, Mr. President Putin. We changed all of that. We don't go take land by force anymore. That's the world order. So if President Trump allows him, that's why Europe is saying that. We don't want to concede no land that you took by force because you're in violation of international law. Now, Vladimir, you could come to Alaska, but you go anywhere outside of Alaska, you are the criminal courts, they looking for you. They got a warrant out for your arrest and they call you a war criminal because you violate international law. CNN, the statement also said the diplomatic agreement to end the war must include robust and credible security guarantees that enable Ukraine to effectively defend its sovereignty and territorial integrity. Listen, President Trump already know this. President Trump already said this, but I was just thinking about this. Vice President Vance, you saying that Europeans are weak and they stand. Look, the Europeans, they ain't playing, are they? Oh, Zelensky, he gal powering over there, and you're a man over there, and Italy, man, he a rock star in France, man. They scared to fight, but they standing behind Zelensky, and they saying we want A, B, and C. They ain't gonna fight. I ain't saying they ain't gonna fight. They'll send some troops if they have to, bro, but they standing strong, saying what they want. Ain't they? But they really standing behind Zelensky. You know who they standing behind. They just standing behind that red, white, and blue, boy. You feel me? That's why, listen, Vice President Vance, this is what you gotta understand. As weak as they are, or they might be, you feel what I'm saying? You gotta get the financial benefit or some kind of other benefit from the Europeans because the Europeans depend on the Americans and the American military. We can't change that. In my lifetime, I don't want to see that change. I think that'll be drastic changes to the world order. I think that would be a mistake. I think that everything bad you think will happen, I think it will happen. I think America has to accept the role of playing the world police because I trust the American president more than I do any other man that could be in that leadership role on earth. You pick another president to put in as a leader of the free world, then no, I would rather President Trump be the leader of the free world. Let him call the shots. So let America's military stay around the world and stand 10. Just make them pay money like President Trump's saying. President Vance, if they weak, Vice President Vance, if they weak, just make the Europeans pay money for the protection. But America needs to be the force in the world, the number one force. You know what I'm saying? Malu said Russia is the world's third biggest military. USA is NR1. According to the weapon industry, both Russia and America is making money on it. Russia does have a large military and manpower, but what you got to realize, America has the technology that the rest of the world does not have. The closest, I would say, the Chinese, well, besides, of course, the NATO countries, the Europeans, and the Vietnamese, it's all kind of countries across the world America sells its weapons to. But the closest country, I would say, that produces weapons with that kind of technology, I would have to say on a large scale that could challenge America in a military conflict would be China, but their weapons are not up to par. Real talk. China be selling people those fighters, and those fighters, they be breaking, malfunctioning. Real talk. They technology ain't what America's is. That's why the whole world, that's why President Trump could say, hey, Putin, I'll give you 10 days. President Trump was saying it before. He kept on telling Putin, hey, Putin, don't do this. Putin launched the most missiles he ever launched, making you look bad, President T. President Trump told him not to do it 2 times, and he launched more. The only time he launched more than last time. Yeah, every time President Trump told him not to do it, he responded about. President Trump got tired of it. He said, "I'll give you 10 days." Putin said, "Hey, let's meet up." 10 days, let's meet up. Oh yeah, you gotta stop playing with him. That's why you can't be weak on him. Got to be strong on him. Okay, let's get back to the news. The terms amounted to attempt by European leaders to scramble a response to the rapidly unfolding diplomacy, which was set in motion this week with Wiskov's meeting in Moscow. Pressed by reporters for details on the contours of a deal, President Trump indicated Friday that it would take some swapping of territories, and I agree with President Trump. I hear what the Europeans are saying, but I agree with President Trump. I hear what you're saying, Vladimir, but I agree with President Trump. I have to believe if a Democrat was in office, man, we just going to keep fighting this war. That's just what I would believe. It's just because of the way the Democrats' position on Russia and on Putin. But what I'm saying is, man, me personally, man, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Russia's too strong and too powerful for for Putin to spend all those years and all that blood and to say that I'm gonna just give the land back up. That's asinine. That's almost blasphemy in Russian language, that you gonna spend, this is a war. Listen to me. Forget Putin. Forget President Trump. Forget all that. Forget America. Forget Russia. Forget China. Forget Ukraine. Forget the countries. This me and you talking. It's me and you. Okay. Now, let's say this happened. Let's say we fighters. We boxers. This is how we get our money, by fighting. Your whole reputation. You going to the food stamp line if you lose this fight. Just think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? This your livelihood, okay? We fighters. So we getting in the fight. Before we get in this fight, let's just say I'm like Muhammad. I'm baby Muhammad on you, baby. You feel me? Before we get in this fight, they say that I'm gonna knock you out in 48 seconds. I'm predicted to knock you out in 48 seconds. Mike Tyson versus Butterbean. You feel me? And so you get in the ring and you start boxing, and the round is 3 minutes, and the first round is up 3 minutes. This way past 48 seconds. This dude's still fighting you. You in the second round, he's still fighting you. Remember, this is your livelihood. You a world champion fighter. and you fighting against somebody you're supposed to knock out in 48 seconds. And we in the 7th round and you still fighting. You're supposed to knock him out. And bro, you know that if Putin give up all that land in Ukraine, you know that he probably gonna be out of there in a little bit. It's no way in the world he could do that. No way. That's the height of embarrassment. Remember, you a boxer and you Mike Tyson or you Muhammad Ali and you fight Butterbean and he's supposed to be gone in 48 seconds and you in the 9th round. You at the end of the fight and y'all still going at it. And you saying that I'm supposed to score the fight and I'm supposed to lose the fight. Russia gonna lose all that land. Putin said, I gave up 1 million souls, 4 years, and I'm just gonna give you all that land back, Ukraine. And I know him. Putin's saying the only reason I didn't beat you is because you had the United States with you. If the US wasn't with you, Europe could have been with you. I'm gonna beat you. But if the US wasn't with you, you would have been lost. Putin not finna give up all that land, bruh. So that's what I'm saying. That's the whole problem President Trump is having. His friends is telling him that Russia can't have none of that land. It looks like if Russia gets some of that land, they still violating the world order. They still, because they changed he's gonna change the international border for the first time since World War II. Back to the news. The fate of the 2 other regions that has been in Moscow's sights. Kherson, I can't even pronounce these. And Zaporizhzhia, I'm sorry, y'all, which Russia only partially occupies. I guess those are just little territories, you know what I'm saying, that were part of the USSR. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? If you guys don't know, the USSR Russia's already the biggest country in the world. You feel me? And then you add Ukraine and all these Georgia, Serbia, you know, all these other countries, you know what I'm saying, that are basically states now. They used to be part of the USSR, communists, but they split. And so what Putin is trying to do, he's trying to reunite that communist regime. That's what he's trying to do, okay? So that's what they're talking about right here. Okay, so those other 2 states that have been Putin's sight, Putin's trying to retake them with military force, wasn't clear, nor was the status of U.S. guarantees going forward, the officials said. That has left European leaders who have expressed concern about the possibility of Ukraine seceding territory, rushing to get more details on what a ceasefire would entail. Once again, guys, I'm going to keep saying this. Ukraine I just gave y'all they're going to have to secede territory. Something. Putin's not going to just completely withdraw with his tail between his legs. And if he does do that, I say his days in Russia is numbered. Because you could hear, what's this dude, Medvedev or whatever, the Russian president or the former Russian president, like it's so many men in Russia that is behind Putin, that old KGB. They all want the USSR to reunite. You see what I'm saying? They with that, bro. So that's where we stand. To allow some of those concerns, Vice President Vance convened the hours-long meeting Saturday with UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy and European and Ukrainian officials to lay out the U.S. view of the negotiation, as well as the American officials' understanding of Russia's stance. Witkoff attended the meeting virtually. A U.S. official told CNN that significant progress was made, but it's still unclear whether there is European or Ukrainian buy-in headed into Friday's critical meeting. After Saturday's meeting, Zelensky said he believed the U.S. was listening. Our arguments are being heard. The dangers are being taken into account, he said in an address. Well, what I have to say, man, Zelensky, we gonna find out. The meeting's on Friday. President Trump know what's at stake, so we gonna find out what's going on with it. So, guys, everyone, as you guys come into the stream, I ask that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell. Also, guys, as well, if you guys want to donate to the channel, you want your comment read, you want to start a conversation, just hit that button at the bottom with the $ in it. Your donations are much appreciated. We got another news story. This one's coming from World Crunch on October of 2022. You like, Ghost, that's not news. Why are you going back then? Because I gave you the story, the CNN news story of President Trump meeting on Friday with Vladimir Zelensky and what's at stake. But the reason why I'm giving you this news story is because we're going to talk about what Vladimir Putin wants. So once again, this is World Crunch, October of 2022. One big clue is the Union State. Listen to me. You're not calling it the USSR no more. So Russia, the Federation of Russia is a country. The USSR is what President Ronald Reagan, rest in peace to the general, to the great, you know what I'm saying, one of the greatest. You know, I got to watch what I say because I'm out here in Illinois, you know what I'm saying, everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying, I just left Springfield. I didn't get a chance to add Springfield to the We the People, what I really should have. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking why I didn't, because We the People, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, he is We the People. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he one of the greatest characters. And you know, Honest Abe out here in Illinois. I'm out here in Illinois right now, so I should have in Springfield. I didn't get a chance to. But I was just saying that to say, man, yeah, what does Vladimir Putin want, man? Like a Union State, USSR. What's a Union State? It's a supranational organization consisting of Russia and Belarus. That was one of the former part of the USSR. That's what Putin's having a problem with. There's people in these countries who want to be part of Russia still. That's the whole problem. Putin's having a problem with that. Putin himself, a former KGB boy, when he watched Russia collapse, I mean the USSR, excuse me, when he watched it collapse, he wasn't with it. He wasn't with that at all. They wanted to keep the USSR intact. It's a lot of people. But what he's having a problem with personally, I'll have to say this to be honest, is there's people in Ukraine, especially Crimea. That's why he took Crimea. Because he's saying the majority of the people in Crimea, they want to be a part of Russia. That's what Putin's saying. And he's saying if Zelensky, he's saying, look, I'm just telling you what he's saying. Putin's over there. Zelensky's over there. That's their war. I'm not there. I'm going to just listen to what both sides are saying and try to find the truth. So what Putin is saying, he's saying, hey, look, he's saying they wanted to be part of my country. They wanted to still be part of the USSR. That's his whole problem. So he's saying, like, he feel like Zelensky isn't really even a president. They're not having real elections. And if they were having real elections, Zelensky would not still be in power. That's how Vladimir feels. And so that's why he's over there trying to take Ukraine, okay? So Belarus is part, you know, they wanted to be part of this Union State, you know what I'm saying, that they're trying to form, you know what I'm saying, not the USSR, but a Union State, you know what I'm saying? So this was founded in 1996. You see, so this has been going on for a minute. After President Reagan broke up the USSR, the ones who wanted the power to be a superpower still behind the scenes, they kept going. And this is what they're going with. Let me see. I'm going to get a couple of comments in here. I want to get you in here. Ronnie says, my country's great, the greatest on earth. If you're talking about America. Somebody put Russia, China, Russia, Canada, and the United States. I don't know what y'all trying to put in order, but there's no order that you would ever put America behind no other country. That's how I feel. I'm a die feeling like that. This is the United States of America. This is my home born and raised. I shed my blood for this land. This is my country. You see what I'm saying? There ain't no greater nation on earth than America. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I go outside and slap my brother in the mouth, but you better not touch him. That's how I look at it. I slap my brother in the mouth. I slap a municipality in the mouth. If they wrong, they need to get corrected, get right. I slap a police department in the mouth, but you better not do it. Especially if you're not even from America. This our nation, our country, our problems, greatest on earth, bar none. Period. When President Trump said he the leader of the free world, I'm okay with that. Oh yeah, I'm okay with that. Who you want to be the leader? It's got to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So, Mr. Putin, 1996, this is before he even came to power. He didn't even come to power till 2002. Think about that. They were trying to reunite the USSR before Vladimir came to power. 6 years before he came to power, they came up with something called a union state. Now, they signed treaties and deals and everything. So, yeah, we can't do the USSR, but we're going to do a union state. 6 years before Vladimir was even there. The union aimed to gradually create a single political, economic, military, and cultural space. Man, come on. Space. What is a single political, economic, military? That's called a state, boy. You're trying to create a new state, the USSR. That's what you're trying to do. But Putin's vision for the union doesn't stop with Belarus. Of course not. What else he wants? He has been quietly but diligently building the formations of the USSR 2.0 for decades. That's what he wants. So, President Trump, what you have to do in this meeting is you have to convey the message clearly to Vladimir that we are not going to be rebuilding the USSR. That's going to take a lot of issues that is on the table, off the table. Bro, I so wish I could be involved. Because listen, I could get to the bottom of the problem because I know what the problem is. I mean, the legitimate problem Putin had, him wanting to reunite the USSR, Putin, y'all lost. So Ronald Reagan beat y'all. So you could cry about that for the rest of eternity, but he beat you with that. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that. But Putin's saying that he has people in Ukraine. If I was the president of Russia and say I had 1 million Russians in Ukraine saying that this dude he's corrupt and he's a crook. He's not even letting us vote. We want to vote him out and we want to leave Ukraine. I'm saying that's legitimate for you to listen to if you're a negotiator. That's a legitimate concern. Him just saying he want to reunite the USSR, you can't do that, Vladimir. No. That's a negatory. It's not going to happen. Him saying that, like, people in Ukraine, and you got to listen to that. That's why President Trump was saying he's saying Zelensky, even the real president, remember that? You got to listen to that. President Trump, it's not expedient for you, even if Putin's right, for you to turn on Zelensky. You can't do that. You can't turn on him, but it's just a difficult situation. But I would address Putin's concerns about the Russians in these states who want to be a part of Russia. However, you got to address it. If you got to make a way for them to return to Russia or leave the other countries and go to Russia, I don't know how you're going to do it, how you can address that. But Putin, you can't have a union state. Your union state is Russia. That's it. You feel it? Real talk. This World Crunch, y'all, October of 2022. Okay? Vladimir been trying to reform the USSR 2.0 for decades, and just in the past few weeks, 2022, Russia announced that the occupied territories of Ukraine that have been annexed into Russia, as well as their armed militias, will also become a part of the Union state. So he's saying, oh, Vladimir said he already got Belarus. He got them without force. So he said those parts of Ukraine, hey, I couldn't get all of Ukraine right now, but those parts, they part of the Union state. We're going to try to get the rest of Ukraine. Then we're going to go for Poland. The Union was created in stages throughout the mid to late 90s. In 1996, an agreement was reached on the creation of the Union between Belarus and Russia, with the officials signing the following year of the Treaty of the Union between Belarus and Russia. Oh, it's just Belarus and Russia. They got a union. This is a state that used to be a part of Russia. With the official signing in 1999, the Treaty of the Creation of the Union State of Russia and Belarus was officially signed. Since then, the driving aim is to reproduce what has been referred to as the USSR 2.0, the Russian Empire 2.0. Man, come on. You can't be serious. The Russian Empire 2.0. You gonna let this dude run through Ukraine? Other events show that Putin's true ambitions stretch far beyond the borders of Belarus. It's also notable that the organization has gotten renewed attention since the war began, particularly in the past few weeks since the sham referendums of annexation has begun. Here's some highlights of that history. And this is just to let you know that we're not just talking about Russia and Putin want to reunite the USSR. Here's some facts. In 2001, the former president of Moldova, that's Vladimir Putin, announced plans for Moldova to join the Union state, but this was never implemented. Oh, he tried to in 1999. Somebody else announced their desire to join the Union state. They didn't even see saying Sobadin Mazovic, what country he from. In Kazakhstan, I guess that's where he's from. In June 2007, the opposition was determined to initiate a referendum on joining the Union state. On October 17, 2008, the parliaments of the Russian-occupied territories of Abkhazia and South Ossetia received the status of permanent observers of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Union state. Y'all get the point? For years. September 30th, 2022, the Kremlin press secretary, Dmitry Peskov, announced that the annexed territories of Ukraine will become not only a part of Russia, Union state. In 2022, Union state. Y'all get the point. So you got to understand the aspirations of Vladimir Zelensky and the aspirations of Vladimir Putin as men. You see what I'm saying? You represent Ukraine and you represent Russia, but you got to understand their aspirations as men. What is Zelensky trying to accomplish as a man? What's he trying to accomplish as the leader of Ukraine? Two separate things. What is President Putin trying to accomplish as a man, and what he's trying to accomplish with Russia? What he's trying to accomplish as a man, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really disagree. I mean, the way he went about doing it, I don't know if I agree with that. But I'm saying if I was the leader of a country and I had 1 million citizens of a neighboring country who were of my kindred, they were Russians, and they were crying out to me saying that some stuff going bad is happening over here. I'm saying, but I'm saying you helping out those Ukrainians who were crying out for help, President Putin, I'm saying you doing that as a man or the leader of Russia, because that's the difference. Because you reaching out to help those people in Crimea, I understand like where the way you did it was wrong. I understand where you're coming from, Putin. But my problem is though you reuniting the Russian state, I mean the Union state or the Russian Empire. No, sir. We can't do it. No, sir. It's a negative. I don't care what politician you speaking to. I don't care what politician you got speaking for you. The USSR or the Union State or the Russian Empire, never again. It's over with. It's a dead issue. Like, we could move forward. We could move forward into the future if y'all want to. You know what I'm saying? You got that AI. President Trump talking about that money. I know when he go over there, he's going to be talking about money with Putin. Putin, you could come to the table. Y'all got oil. We could get bread, so much bread. But you're not finna have no Russian empire, and you need to get out of Ukraine. I can help solve those issues that I can, because Zelensky in Europe, you just going to have to eat some of that land. That's just point blank. But Putin, we going to make a deal to where you going President Trump needs to get in his mind that Russian, it needs to die. And I think we'll never have a problem out of Russia again. Listen to me, never. I think that's the only thing that's stopping Russia from coming into, because they keep on, it's an embarrassment. Imagine if something happens where Texas or Florida, Texas, Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana end up conceding from America. They're not a part of America no more. And you was a world superpower. Yeah, it was America and Russia. Some people thought that the USSR during these days could defeat America. They were that big and that strong. Their power was comparable to America in the 60s and the 70s. Oh, yes. The hunt for Red October, that's real live stuff, boy. The brink of war between the USSR and Russia, and the United States. But President Reagan, salute the big OG. He tore it down. Tear that wall down, my guy. And now President Putin trying to build it again. But President Trump, I'm speaking to you from the U.S. military, my dog. Yeah, I'm speaking for the U.S. military right now. Russian Empire, Union State, Russian Federation, it's not happening. Never again. Not as long as the people in my generation alive, it'll never happen again. Not on my watch. It's over with. Point blank. You gotta convey that to Vladimir, President Trump. Cause see, when the next president come, he gonna try to play with them too. Every president, he be trying to. He saw President Trump drop that big bomb in Iran though, and President Trump said 10, 12 days. He don't know what President Trump up to. So hey, look, come out, let God come down to Alaska and talk to you. After analyzing the activities and structure of the so-called Union State, it is clear that this formation was founded and supported with the sole purpose of reproducing the USSR 2.0. That is, the very existence of such a structure foreshadows the violent takeovers of independent states that were previously part of the post-Soviet space. Just like I said, man, like if the United States, say if something happened and 4 states left America and America wasn't a superpower no more. And here we go 5, 10 years later and America just trying to take these states again to become the superpower again. That's all that's going on. The legitimate concerns about the citizens in Crimea and Ukraine who got a problem with Zelensky, President Trump, I would listen to that. I really would. Because if you don't, I think you're going to have this problem with Putin again if Putin stay there, because as soon as y'all get a resolution to this problem, you know what's going to happen? Listen to me. Listen to some wise person. You probably would know this too if you think about it, but in my mind, I think about all kind of stuff. I'm telling you, President Trump, if you do not listen to what Zelensky is saying about those people who are complaining, not Zelensky, Putin, excuse me, about those people, those citizens, those Ukrainians who complaining, that he hear their complaints. You got to see what they're talking about. I would listen to that. Because I think that would be key to making sure that Putin understands whatever they're saying to what they want to be a part of Russia again. I'm going to address this once and for all. So we're going to put that to bed, because Vladimir, Ukraine is not a part of Russia. They could say whatever they want to. You can't just get an army and go take them back over again. You lost. Ronald Reagan beat you without firing a shot. And you mad about that, and you want your country back. That's not how that works. Russia signed some paperwork saying they ain't gonna do that. You gave up the land. You gave up the territory. You gave up the territory. You let President Ronald Reagan talk you down and give up the territory without firing a shot. You lost. How you gonna just go, I'm gonna go back and take the land because they, you know what I'm saying? I could understand the citizens, the Russians in Ukraine. I can't understand that. Him being a Russian leader, that's what his job is to listen to his citizens, to try to make his country better. But Ghost, those aren't his citizens. They're not his citizens, but they're still Russians. You gotta realize that. You talking about what? When the Berlin Wall fell, some of those people, that was Russia back then. And some of those people are Russians. You get it? That makes sense to you? Just like Florida succeeds from the United States, right? And say I would go down to Florida next week and I like it down there and I buy a house down there. And then 3 weeks after that, Florida secedes from the United States. Well, I'm an American and I'm living in Florida. And you know what I'm saying? Now Florida, hey, y'all, Florida, I'm talking to President Shapiro or President AOC or President Vance, whoever. I'm talking to the new hey, y'all, you know, the new Florida president, he down here treating us wrong, and so America like, hey, well, we're going to go back. That's pretty much, but yeah, we can address that. But the Russian Federation or the Russian King or the Russian Emperor or USSR 2.0 or the Union State, none of that. Whatever the problem is that made Putin want to go back, address that. So they won't be calling back to him again. Because after you get a peace deal, all he'll say is, hey, some people in Poland that are really Russians, 200,000 of them, a large number of them, are saying they're being mistreated by their government. And their government is corrupt and unfair. So I'm just fighting corruption and I'm trying to liberate the people of Poland, including some Russians. That's going to be his next story. Because if the bottom line is to recreate the Russian Federation, he's never going to get off of this. He's just going to use an excuse to redraw another border. And he's going to keep redrawing the borders until Russia is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the time he on his deathbed, the Russia going to be bigger than the USSR. It's just not going to be called USSR. It's going to be called the Union State. You get it? Guys, y'all like the video for me. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. Trying to get those channel memberships up, guys. They're only $2.99. If you're watching this video after it was pre-recorded, you could just hit that button with that $sign in it. Join the conversation, join the channel. This was from World Crunch, October 2022. This is the last of the story. And then I'll read a couple of your comments. It's Sunday. I know a lot of people got to go to church, so I'm going to let you go. So according to the political scientists analyzing the processes in the post-Soviet space, in 2023, Russia is planning a transition of power, which implies the transition of Vladimir Putin. What? Y'all getting rid of Vladimir? What's going on? The post of Secretary General of the Union State. You know, sometimes when you read something, it's like an algebra equation. You got to go back over, you got to redo it, make sure you did it right, because it don't look right. They saying they planning Vladimir to have a transition of power from being president or prime minister of Russia, whatever, to the Secretary General of the Union State. They already got it planned out, man. The role will not just encompass Russia and Belarus, but have a broader meaning. In the information space of Russia, they have already begun to promote the topic of a new Union State. According to Brett Khan, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan can join the formation, but there is more a desire than facts. According to colleagues of political science, the transition of power in 2023 is that Putin must leave the post of president of Russia and become the head of Union State in a new format. The processes described above stem from one factor, that is the desire of Vladimir Putin to reproduce the 20th century empire. USSR 2.0. Hey, y'all know on that dictator movie, I can see it right now. Ever seen Vladimir walk out from on the Russian when he doing his thing at the y'all know what I'm talking about? Look, watch this. Bro, they open up the doors, bro. But I can't. You know how the State of the Union when the president of the United States and they play the music and President Trump come walking in, you know what I'm saying? President Trump, you know. Well, they play this, the Russian got their own version. I don't know. I just was watching it on TV. I don't know what it was, the State of the Union. I don't know what it was. All I heard was blah, 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 blah. Vladimir Putin. Bro, I'm dead serious. I put this on everything I love. Bro, they got them big doors, bro. In Russia, bro, not the old Russia, it's gorgeous. Moscow is gorgeous, bro. I would love, I'm talking about, bro, culture, thick culture. Like, for real, it's gorgeous. But look, they got the gold in Moscow. I guess that's why President Trump liked Putin so much. He got gold everywhere, too. But he got gold on the doors, real gold, big old door. I ain't never seen the door. It was like a woman opening, too, bro. I promise on everything. Bro, Vladimir Putin. That's all I heard. You speaking Russian, I don't understand. Vladimir Putin. They open that door, boy. Bro, I promise you. On everything. Here comes Vladimir, bro. Bro, you know Vladimir got that pin walk. Come on now, y'all don't even stunt. Y'all know Vladimir Putin got that pin walk, boy. Vladimir walk like a triple OG. That boy behind his shirt off and stuff, fighting bears and stuff. Oh, Vladimir. Here come Vladimir walking down all them steps, bro. Vladimir Putin. Vladimir, you a cool guy, man. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? The amount of respect I have for you is not as high as it should be. It would be a lot higher, but I hear that you killed journalists. So that means that you're a civil rights violator. So we can't be cool, Vladimir, as long as you killing journalists. Nah, they might be lying on you now. I ain't over there, so I don't know. But look, Vladimir, we cool with you. We good on you. You hear me? I don't care what president knows about you. I know I'm in president. Oh, man. What President Obama, presidential library, man. I miss Abraham Lincoln's in Springfield. President Obama's probably in Shottown in Iraq. But look, man, like we understand, like, I don't care what President Obama said about you, Putin, I ain't too bad on you. But here's the problem I'm having. You can't reform the Russian Federation, man. It's a wrap. Y'all lost. You gotta let it go. Those countries who want to rejoin Russia, I don't know how you're gonna do that. I don't know if President Trump, if I was you, I would address that. Real talk. Real talk. I'll call him out right now. Because I know that's the whole thing. And I know you're gonna have President Trump President Trump, they're trying to achieve peace in the world to bring forth an age of prosperity for the whole world. Peace and prosperity for the whole world. If you're going to bring peace and prosperity to the whole world, you need to feed the poor. Number one, we talked about that. You can't leave them behind. It's going to be ugly if you do, bruh. Chaos. That's how you get violence down, by getting your poverty down. You need to feed the poor, and you need to do what you're doing with Russia. You got to establish the power and order in the world, because China's watching, because they want Taiwan. So if President Trump, you do the thing with Putin, you're going to say, not on my watch. What y'all think? Y'all like my analysis? Y'all like the news? What we got? So Melissa says the U.S. literally went into Russia and created all of their oligarchs. Did you guys know that? I didn't until recently. If that's true, Melissa, that is. But I don't know if he created some of them. Because I'm saying the KGB and Putin and them, they're aware that the Americans are in Russia. They're aware that the Americans operating in Russia, just like these Russians over here trying to operate, you know? That's just the game. But that is nice to know, Malu. She says, Zelensky didn't want to cooperate with Putin for expansion and resources, so he called Europe. They gave him false promises of protection. That's a good point, Malu. Europe can't protect. They might not protect themselves against Russia. They can't protect themselves against China. They won't protect themselves against any big nation that's aggressive. You got to think about it. France is the size of Texas, or maybe smaller, maybe a little bigger, but it's about the size of Texas. How big is the United Kingdom? About the size of Florida? You talking about Russia's the biggest country in the world. China number 2. So yeah, the Europeans, they need America. Need. Capital N-E-E-D. Need America. If they're going to stand against Putin and Russia, they need America. Definitely. I'm just going to let it grow out, man. As long as I can, you know what I'm saying? And then probably get it like twisted, you know what I'm saying? Trump is an Epstein list child molester. You feel me? President Trump, you wrong for hanging out with a child molester, but President Trump is not a child molester. And when the stuff came out about old Jeffrey, he stopped hanging out with him. To me, that's the end of the conversation. As far as President Clinton or Prince Andrew, we should be looking for no juicy story on no famous person. We should be trying to protect children. The children who aren't being protected, that's, the good guys. We're going to protect the children. That's all we're trying to do. The good guys. That's it. We ain't looking for nothing. I will let y'all do that. Y'all fight over President Trump and President Obama, and we ain't trying to do that. We just trying to protect our nation and our country and the children. You feel me? You say, who is we? Who I always salute. You know what I'm saying? Salute the military, baby. Salute the court system. That's we. Just protecting our people, protecting our nation, protecting our children. The military don't care how much power you got. You right or you wrong. We gonna stand on that. Yeah, we gotta stand on it. You gotta stand on that. And rock with it. The courts too. Same thing with the course, because that's what I do all my business with. But I'm rocking with them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, we've been hour and 20 minutes, y'all. We've been on the stream, man. I appreciate y'all showing up. We're gonna go live again on Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tap in, man. Y'all check out the stream. Man, it's a beautiful day out here in central to I'm about northern Illinois. You know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for you guys if it's 200 degrees outside right now, like it be in the south. I woke up this morning about 60 degrees. It's time to put my jacket and sweater on. Well, I don't know how to act, man, in the middle of August. Boy, I've been in Texas and Mississippi for the last, I don't know how many years. And right now down there, I know it's so hot, but it's so cool. It's so gorgeous. Wherever you are, man, just be thankful to God. That's what I did this morning. I woke up and thank God for all his blessings, all of his everything. I woke up and I thank God. That's how I started my day, man. You know what I'm saying? That being said, man, I'm going to take a few minutes. Y'all go ahead and finish out the conversation. Say y'all goodbye, everything like that. Make sure you have double tapped the screen. You have liked the video. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. It's free to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so every time we go live, you could come join the conversation. Also, one more time, guys, if you guys would like to donate to the channel, if you want me to answer a question, you want to start a conversation, anything of the sort, you could just hit the button with the $sign in it. I think super chat, super stickers, super thanks, they start at 99 cents. Your donations are much appreciated. Channel memberships start at $2.99, guys. So I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to come back, get my outro. I appreciate you guys. We've been streaming for about an hour and 20 minutes. This is like our third time streaming this week. Maybe fourth. Yeah, I think our third. So, yeah, man, live from Illinois, baby. Oh man, that's what I want to see. My boy Colin got 6 months. Much love. Y'all subscribe, hit the like button. That's what we need, man. That's what I was looking for, man. Need those subscriptions, man. Colin been rocking with me, man, from day one, man, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Next month, we celebrating the year anniversary of Military Legal. I think in February in Texas, man, we got 63 subscriptions, man, in 1 month. So I'm going to push that, man. That's what we trying to do, trying to get them subscriptions up. Man, I'm out here on the road, man. I've been on the road for about a month. You know what I'm saying? Literally. I was in Tennessee for about 3 weeks, been in Illinois for about 4 weeks. I'm probably going to be on the road throughout this year. You know what I'm saying? Till next year. But for you guys who follow the content, next year will be a great year for me. It will be a great year for Legal Wars Live. I'm just waiting on a blessing, the biggest. Bro, it's unbelievable, bro. Like, so I got the biggest blessing in my life in October, November, I would say, of 2024. Then I got another blessing behind that. That was double the first blessing in May of 2025. And then probably around February or so of 2026, I'm going to get another blessing that's 2 times the size of that. Plus, I got other lawsuits I'm working on. So, yeah, man, you know, until that time, though, I'm out here, man. I'm grinding. I'm putting in work. I'm on the road. You guys know it's not cheap and you know it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? For months in different states, man, bringing you guys great content, showing you the great state of Illinois. Make sure y'all go follow the Instagram page in the bio, because on IG, you're going to get the stories you might not get on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? A Miller Legal or Legal Wars Live. It's real easy. Just go to Instagram, put Legal Wars Live in your search bar, and then hit the like button and hit the follow button. If you enjoy the content, look at the stories, bro. Because I'm bringing y'all content. When you think of Illinois, what do you think of? If you think of the state of Illinois, what you think of? I told my homeboys in Tennessee, I went to Tennessee. They got jealous. Nah, I'm just playing. They didn't get jealous, but you know, people like, we on the way. We coming. We fly me out. I tell them I went to Illinois and they like, man, they kind of scared. You feel me? Let me explain something to you because you don't know Illinois. You don't understand it. You think the whole state is Chicago. And Chicago's not dangerous like you think it is. It's the south side of the city. It's other places in the city that's dangerous. You could get that. There's elements to every city, but it's the south side of the city. You talking about the state of Illinois and the south side of Chicago. They so real out there. They're so real out there that everybody thinks the whole state of Illinois is the south side of Chicago. Let me tell you about the state of Illinois. The state of Illinois is a corn farm. It's a farm, the whole state. And then you got Chicago. Two different states. Let me say it again. Illinois is blue because you probably got about 8 million or so in Chicago and you got 5 million or so in the rest of the state. 5 million in the rest of the state compared to a city? Yes, that city is ginormous. And the rest of the state is rural. Rural. I'll just be messing with y'all sometimes. The rest of the state is rural. Straight up. The whole state is nothing but a farm. I think the biggest city in Illinois outside of Chicago got over 100,000 people. I don't think you have a 200,000 people city in Illinois outside of Chicago. Outside of Chicago, Effingham, the population of Effingham is like 13, 14, 15, and it's jumping. I'm telling you, a 14,000, I like the city, real talk. I like Effingham a lot, Illinois. I like it a lot. I like the vibe. I like the people. I like the state of Illinois. It's laid back. I haven't been to Chicago yet, but I like it though. But what I'm trying to tell you, you ain't going to know that because you're going to just fly into Chicago and you're going to see Chicago and you're going to think all of Illinois is like Chicago. But the whole state is a farm. Literally, the whole state is a farm. That's why you got to go places to understand it. And if you go to the YouTube, like or Instagram, like I said, I'm uploading content. I know I spend a lot of time in the woods, but I'm saying if you come out the woods in Illinois, you still in the woods. It's cornfields, farmers and cornfields. And I'm not hating on that because I'm from the South. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from a rural area myself. I tend to navigate to rural areas. I spend more time in rural areas than cities. That's where I feel comfortable at. That's where I'm from. But I'm just letting you know that Illinois is not what you think. It's a cornfield, a farm, the entire state besides Chicago. And Chicago's in the upper northwest part. It's not like Chicago's in the middle and you got corn. Nah, the whole state is a corn farm and Chicago's in this part of the state. You see the screen that you see? Chicago is this part of Illinois, this part right here. And the rest of this is a corn farm. And this is Chicago. And this is a farm, corn farm. Corn stalks everywhere. You see Superman? Yeah. 12 feet corn stalks, 6 feet corn stalks. You got to go to the state. You got to mingle with the people. You got to see it for yourself to understand what it is. Melissa said there's news being created in every town, every country, state. And yeah, it is. That is so true. Not only news being created there, they have opinions. They're Americans. They're the people, the voice of the people. I talked to every sort of person there is to talk to in Illinois. I talked to one of them corn farmers. I should have stopped and interviewed one. It was a couple of them outside when I stopped and did some content. They were watching. They be looking. I should have interviewed them. You know what I'm saying? But that's all it is, man. It's corn farms. And then Chicago. You got to go there. You got to put your boots on the ground. You got to talk to the people. You got to understand this is the voice of Americans. This is the voice of the heartland, the voice of the people. That's why I speak the way I do. It's like I be speaking for the people because I talk to so many of them everywhere. Every corner of Texas, I talk to people. Tennessee, I talk to them. Mississippi, I talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. I didn't spend much time in South Carolina. I really just passed through. But I'm here in Illinois right now, North Carolina. You feel me? And I ain't finished yet. All over America, Louisiana. Talk to them, man. I'll stop and ask them. You think your government works for you? What you think about Big President T? Are you a Republican or a Democrat? I just talk to him, man. That's my time, though, man. I appreciate every last one of y'all, man. If y'all, like I said, if y'all watching this after it was pre-recorded, make sure you double tap that screen, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Somebody said, do I like Florida? How could I not like Florida? Bro, I like anything that God created that's beautiful. That explains it to me. I mean, I like cars too. God didn't create them. I like architect. God didn't create them. I like architecture, but I like God's creation better. I like looking at mountains better than buildings. I like looking at beaches before I would like, you see what I'm saying? Looking at a car or a house. So how could I not think Florida? How could I not like Florida if I'm an outdoors person? I think Florida is one of the most gorgeous places on the face of God's earth that I've ever seen. Real talk. You ask why I don't bring content from Florida. If that's what you asking, bro, like I'm going to get there. I need to get there. I haven't been to Miami in about hold on. 2020. No, man, I haven't been to Miami since you said that, since 2017. I think I went to Tampa in No. Yeah. No, okay. Miami in 2017. I went to Tampa, though, in 2019. So the last time I went to Florida is in Tampa in 2019. But Florida's a beautiful state. Beaches everywhere, gorgeous. The Atlantic Ocean. I thought I was in Cali for a second. The Atlantic Ocean, bro, is beautiful. What would I not like Florida for? That don't make no sense at all. You can't say that it's a Republican state because this is the first blue state you seen me in. I mean, all them states I named: Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, North Carolina, Kentucky, Illinois. Them the states I moved through. Only one out them 10 states are blue. Next door, Indiana, that's red. Which way the other way? You feel me? If you go past Indiana, like you go up there, it's Michigan and Wisconsin, them purple states. Minnesota, a blue state. You know what I'm saying? Minnesota cold though. Wisconsin cold. You think it's August, bro, September, it'd be snowing up there. You feel me? Real cold. But I'm saying, to me, it don't matter. It ain't got nothing to do. I love Florida, man. It's just because of how many times I've been there. That's why you ain't seen me there. That's how many times I've been. When I went back to Tennessee, like my family, they was like, man, he been there, like, because they know. Like literally, I've probably been there 5 times in the last 7 years. Because when I was in Houston, I didn't travel. But yeah, as soon as I left Houston, Tennessee, North Carolina, one of them 2 states, I'm going to hit them. Chattanooga, I can't count the number of times I've been to Chattanooga because that's the spot I stop in every time I go up there. You know what I'm saying? But that Tennessee and Florida, I mean, Tennessee is like me going to the mountains. That's like me in my 40s. That I'm gonna go to the mountains. Tennessee got mountains. Colorado got mountains. Utah got mountains. Wyoming got mountains. Simpson, North Carolina got mountains. Florida don't. Texas don't. But they have beaches. But I grew up on the beach. That's like my 20s and 30s was the beach. I'll still go to the beach. If you don't have I'm gonna find some water. I grew up on the water. I'm gonna find a lake, a river, a pond, or something, a stream, a creek. I'm gonna find the water. The water sustains life. See, I understand stuff that other people like. I don't even want to get in. That's too deep for this conversation. But I'm gonna find the water though, and I'm gonna be out there by the water. That's just me, who I am. But I'm saying, if you let's say I'm like, bro, when I was 7, bro, we were going to Florida when I was 16. I remember going to Florida, 16, sneaking my sister's car down there, fell asleep on the wheel, almost died. We went down there, I was 17, like 4 or 5 of us, a whole group of us went down to Florida. 18. By the time I was 20, when I came back, when I was in the Army, listen, at 18, I went and stayed in Florida in Melbourne with my homeboy for about a month. When I joined the Army, I went and stayed down in Florida with my homeboy for about 2 months. When I got out the Army at 22, I went to Florida like 5 times a year. I can name every state. Look, I'm finna get off, y'all, but look, I'm finna do this before I go. You crossing in from Alabama, right? From Mobile, Alabama. That means you going west on I-10 into Florida. I'm from Biloxi. Pensacola. I could name the small towns too. I'm gonna just name the decent sized ones. Pensacola, Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Panama City, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville. Straight across the state across I-10. Once you get to Jacksonville, what's that, 95 or 75 south? Once you get to Jacksonville, you're gonna go Daytona Beach, right? First, you go Daytona Beach, like Cocoa Beach and Melbourne and stuff like that. Then Palm Beach, where President Trump is at, Fort Walton, and then Miami. And then if you go on the other side, I think that's is that the Gold Coast? If you come, you got Orlando in the middle of the state, you got Tampa on the west side of man, I can name you the whole state. I've been to every city. You know how I get down? When I go to the state, I'm gonna go to every city. Every city in Texas. Every city in Tennessee. I've been to Memphis before, I don't know, about 2-3 times. That's why I didn't go this time. And then you got to ride all the way to the west side of the state to get to Memphis. Now, I thought riding to Nashville was far enough from Knoxville. That's where I set up at. Well, I'm going to try to stay close to the area I set up at when I set up in the state. You know what I'm saying? But, man, y'all, that's my time, man. I'm about to go, man. Whenever I get in a situation that's bigger than me, I always give it to God. Whenever I wake up in the morning to start my day, I always start off by thanking God. Start your day in thanksgiving. Come before the Lord in thanksgiving and give thy praises to the Most High. If you don't believe in God, I don't know who you believe in, what you believe in, how you make it in life. God is the roadmap. He's the beginning and he's the end. It's like getting in the car, don't know where you're going. You don't know where you came from and don't know where you're going, but you in the car and you know you in the car and you think you know something. That's how it is living without God. You don't know how you got here. You don't know what's going to happen when you die. So your life shows it. You ain't no meaning you lost. It ain't no, you just out there just. God give you a purpose. He give you direction and he give you a roadmap. That's what he did to me in August of 2018. When I accepted him, I asked him to forgive me of my sins and to save my soul from hell. And I believe with my entire heart that he saved me. I belong to him. My faith in his death and the blood that he shed on the cross, it saved my soul from hell. Every time I get in a situation that's bigger than me, I lay it at God's feet. Real talk, I'm going to get on my knees, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to give God my problem. And I'm going to get up and walk away and not worry about it and know, have faith and believe. When dealing with God, you need faith. Have faith and believe that he's going to solve that problem for you. You know what I'm saying? Wake up every day, and this is what you say. You say it out loud so them spirits can hear you. This is the day that the Lord God, Jehovah Jireh, has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. That's my time, y'all. I love every last one of y'all. I thank every last one of y'all for showing up. My Lou, baby, I miss you, sweetheart. I want to see you in here more often. We'll be live on Tuesday at 7 a.m. Central Time. So y'all make sure y'all stop by and come check out the stream, man. We might be in a new state on Tuesday, y'all. Don't miss it, man. Bringing y'all great content from all over these blessed and beautiful United States. That's my time, y'all. I'm out, man. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all on Tuesday, man, at 7 a.m. Central Time, if God willing.